Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with DR Holistic Healer, aka Sonya B. Welcome. This is Reiki Time with Sonya B. Of course, you see that I'm wearing the color of green, but first, before I start, I want to basically let you guys know the information that I'm basically sharing is basically based off Eastern philosophy, because I'm a Reiki master teacher as well as a Reiki master. All of those trainings usually come from the Eastern philosophy, but I say all that to say that a lot more of Western people are starting to use it nowadays within their systems, should I say. They definitely have been incorporating, let's just say, Reiki in regards to when I first started seeing it on the scene, it was within chemotherapy treatment services that they were giving cancer patients. So I say all that to say they was using Reiki practitioners, teachers, however you want to refer to it as a way to help heal patients when they're going through chemotherapy treatment to help ease their pain. So I say all that to say a lot of this information is based off of, again, Eastern philosophy, but a lot of more Western medicines are starting to incorporate them due to such as times as this into their healthcare practices. So don't be surprised if you start hearing a lot more about let's just say Reiki coming into the doctor's office, because you never know. Or I know that they're definitely like in the hospitals. So you have some nurses, you have some EMTs, and people like those people as such, a lot of them are starting to become trained in those fields in regards to, I guess, as additional training or just trying to find ways to just being able to better to give back to the community at hand. So anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra is the very center, which is your heart space, in the middle of your energy center field. Okay, so remember I said the very first one, which is your red one, it is considered the root chakra that starts at the very end of your tailbone, and the very last one is your crown chakra that ends at the very top of your head. Not my hair, but your head, your crown on your head. So anyway, today we're going to be discussing the fourth chakra. It is the color green. It represents the heart. I know sometimes people's like, well, wait a minute, I thought the heart was like red. And the heart, well, like I said, this is information that's based off, again, that it correlates with more Eastern philosophy. Green represents the earth, Mother Nature, things like that. And if you think about Mother Nature, she's grounding, she's caring. There's a lot of things, honestly, that people don't even know that Mother Nature is able to do if they just tap into that energy. And I say all that to say we're able to transmute any and all negative energy that we may be having or maybe experiencing that exact single moment down into the earth, as a way to cleanse ourselves in a sense. There are other ways to, we're able to set intentions of imagine that we have roots at the bottom of our feet and implanting them into Mother Earth, so that way we can feel grounded. So again, if you think about the color green, green represents earth, and earth does so many different things for us. Okay, so keep that in mind. It helps us grow our food, the trees, nature, all those different things. But anyway, I don't want to get into a long discussion, so let's get into it. Okay, so today we are, as I said before, the fourth chakra. We will be discussing today. So, how to know if you're, and I got my notes here, y'all, I'm sorry. So that way I don't make sure I repeat things twice. So anyway, how to know if your heart chakra is out of balance. You will experience, the number one sign will be experiencing, basically a closed heart. In other words, if you closed off to something, if you think about it, you're closed. You don't want to open yourself up to that energy. So that's one sign. You may experience some worthlessness. Sometimes, usually, that are signs that your heart chakra is blocked or out of balance, however you want to refer to it as, or need alignment. Some other experiences is grief, fear, situations of anger, feelings of loneliness. If you think about it, most of the people, they feel like if they don't have anybody in their life, they feeling lonely. So that causes a change of reactions. So anyway, feelings of jealousy, hardened hearts. If you think about when somebody does you wrong, of course, we tend to harden our heart off, based off what they have done to us. And so basically, again, excuse me, having a closed heart, excuse me, feelings of rejection, as well as giving up on love, especially if you found yourself in a relationship and you found yourself saying like relationship after relationship after relationship, giving it a chance, giving it a chance, giving it a chance, and it's not working out for you. Some people can tend to give up and be like, you know what, that's it. I give up. I am not entertaining love anymore. And you become closed off. Think about all those things. Not believing that you deserve it sometimes, you know, because sometimes it could be a situation due to your childhood circumstances that your upbringing that may have allowed you to become emotionally blocked in a sense that you feel like you don't deserve love, because it could have been a situation where you may have saw or experienced your parents go through certain situations. So therefore, sometimes we carry on certain patterns, but it's up to us to recognize those patterns so that we don't repeat them down our bloodlines or to the next generation that comes. So those are things that we need to recognize as well too. And then we also have taking on too many responsibilities, you know, like let's just say you don't take care of yourself, but you take care of other people. And, you know, it's like too many responsibilities, too many people pulling at you, you know, so it's like you're not giving that attention, time and attention to yourself. You're giving it to other people. So that's another way for your heart chakra to be blocked off as well too. So just imagine like the time and energy and effort that we go through the lengths of trying to people please people and to get them to accept us and so on and so on. And when they don't accept us, we have exhausted ourselves into we have exhausted ourselves to the point that the same energy that have given other people, that we don't put that energy back into ourselves. So that's very important to make sure, because a lot of times, I know myself have done this at one point in my life, should I say, that I exhausted myself for everyone else and didn't take care of myself. So that's another sign as well too. You know, exhausting yourself. And then, let's see, then we have holding on to deep-seated fears of being hurt again. So again, we're not really opening ourselves up to love again because, you know, let's just say due to, again, dealing with the situation of somebody might have hurt you once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, however you want to refer to it. You know, at some point, some people just like, you know what, forget it, I'm done. And then you have the situation of, let's see, feeling unfulfilled in life. So if you just feeling like you had a dead end and it's just like, oh my God, like what, I'm like tired of doing everything that I'm doing. Like I'm tired of this pattern. I'm tired of what I do. I'm tired of what I do on my job. I'm tired of doing the same old stuff, you know, daily. And, you know, sometimes that's because you're unenthused with life. Am I saying that right? Unenthusiastic with life, should I say, excuse me. So, let's see. And sometimes it's also a situation of things coming to a boiling point. So sometimes we don't even recognize those signs are there, that we're just so fed up, you know, whether it be stressed out, overdoing, overgiving, doing this, doing that, too many responsibilities, and just fed up with so many different things to the point that we kind of lash out. And all of that lashing out is basically nothing more than emotions that have been boiling underneath the surface that is going to come out in a sense, as if it's like, you know, anger, you know, or rage, you know, those type of things. So keep that in mind as well too. Let's see what else. I want to make sure I don't repeat myself. So some may even experience some of the other signs are, you know, some people could be experiencing a situation of being envious or jealous of other people in regards to their successes, should I say, because, you know, think about it. If somebody's unenthused, but you see this person over here to the right of you and they're very enthusiastic about life and things that they want to do in general, you know, sometimes that can kind of, you can create a roadblock for yourself, because it's almost like, you know, because you're being envious or you're being jealous of that person, rather than looking at them and learning something from them, like why are you so enthusiastic about life, you know, having a conversation with them. So, you know, that's important to keep that in mind as well too, not to have built up envy or resentment or jealousy within your heart, because the same thing that they're doing, you can also have it as well too. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to be surrounded around, certain types of people, should I say. And those are ambitious, enthusiastic type people who has aspirations and goals, and they know where they want to go, because some of that can kind of rub off on you. But anyway, so let's move right on. And then let's see what else. So sometimes a lot of emotional wounds that are tied to the heart chakra can be hard to heal. And I say that to say because sometimes, people, again, sometimes it could be a situation of your upbringing. Sometimes it may not have anything to do with your upbringing, but it may have just been with certain situations and certain circumstances that you may have dealt with just in life and in general. And sometimes, it could be a situation of people being codependent on other people. And I say that to say, now there's a difference between the two. When I say being enthusiastic and hanging around people who are enthusiastic, there's a difference opposed to being codependent. Codependent is when you actually need them for every single thing. You feel like you can't do nothing without them. So, basically use your discernment in regards to that, because they're unhealthy. Actually, to each and every chakra that there's healthy attachments as well as unhealthy attachments. That's where the balance comes in, and as well as the unbalance comes in as well too, meaning that they have lower and higher situations of the heart chakra, should I say. Anyway, so with all that being said, one should be mindful of being dependent on love from other people. In other words, like, it's a matter of going within, loving yourself. That's high vibrational, should I say, but being codependent is more of a low heart chakra unalignment, should I say. So if I don't want to confuse you, because I don't want to confuse myself as well too. So keep that in mind too. So just remember, with every chakra, there is a low side of it, and then there's a high side of it as well. So remember, the high side is going to be when it's in balance. The low side is going to be when it's out of balance. Let's see what else. So yes, so it's one should be mindful of when they're experiencing situations that they're codependent on people to make them feel good, or to fill any voids of loneliness, and to feel, all types of voids, should I say. If you're using people as distractions to keep you from, let's just say, dealing with your emotional issues or emotional situations that you may have experienced, whether it's childhood issues or whether it's just any adult issues that you may be dealing with, it's important to just make sure that you're not solely relying on people to comfort you, pacify you, in order to help heal your heart, because that's just a band-aid, in other words. So in other words, when another situation happens, that's just basically going to bring all that stuff up to the surface, as I said before, and it's going to boil over in the pot, and then that's when it's going to be catastrophe, in other words. So anyway, let's move on. Anyway, and there are different types of codependency type relationships. So don't think it's just a situation of just romantic situations, because there's a codependency type situation with friends. Sometimes, let's just say, if somebody want to go to the movies and see something, hey, I want to go to the movies and see this, you're codependent on somebody else going with you. Hey girl, what you doing today? Knowing good time well you haven't talked to that girl probably in like every bit of 2 weeks, a month or so, but then you calling this person up because you don't want to go to the movies by yourself. That's a form of codependency, in other words. So I say all that to say, if you can't go to the movies by yourself and you feel like you need to go somewhere with somebody else, there's a difference between going someplace and just hanging out with your friends because it's a healthy relationship, but it becomes unhealthy when it's to the situation that you need them to go and do something with you. Anyway, so then you also have those codependency situations at work. You don't want to eat your lunch alone, so you find a friend that you can sit and talk to while you're eating, and knowing good time well, let's just say outside of work, you don't even talk to this person. You probably don't even give them the time of the day. That's another form of like codependency. Your spouse, or you depend on your spouse to do everything. You depend on him to take out the trash, work a job, as well as, let's just say hypothetically, if you're at home, he's you're sitting at home doing nothing, and you're codependent because you don't want to take out the trash. You depend on him to do it. You think he's supposed to do it, or you think he's supposed to cut the grass, or like, oh, that's a man's job. No, that's not my job. Let me let him do it. All those type of things are codependency, whether we want to realize it or not. Situations with bosses, if you to the point that you doing things for your boss, even though it may be exhausting you in a sense, that's a form of codependency, because you're doing what you're doing because obviously you're expecting something else in return in regards to your boss for you doing what you do. And it could be a situation of your mom. Your mom could be codependent on you, just relying on you to do any and everything. Be careful of those too, because I know sometimes those are situations that we think that, oh, this is my mom, or oh, this is my dad, or not just mom and dad, but any of these people. If it comes to the point that they rely on you, it's a form of codependency. Yes, do we have trustworthy people within our circles who really care about us and don't mind, that are really coming from a place of unconditional love, that will step in and, because their heart is right, and do things for us? Yes, we want those type of relationships, but we do not want to rely on those relationships, because what if there's a situation if this person is not available to assist you in whatever it is that you need to do? You can't stop your life because that person can't show up, and you need to be able to move on and go on with your life and do what you need to do, whether it's show up at an appointment, whether it's go here, or whether it's go there by yourself. So we got to be careful of those relationships too, as well as with our children, so that we don't be codependent on our children, and our children don't be codependent on us in a sense. Again, there are healthy relationships as well as unhealthy relationships as well. So you name it, the list goes on. But anyway, so and then there's also not trusting in the process of life. So in other words, going with the flow of life. So rather than you can tell if your heart chakra is blocked, because rather than going with the flow of what God is presenting to you, sometimes people can fight against that flow and allow themselves to become stuck in obstacles, and allow themselves to become stuck in the same cycle, and find themselves on basically repeating the same patterns over and over again in life. Okay, so sometimes God will allow us to go through those same patterns so that we may understand, okay, well, wait a minute, I've done this before. I did it 3 other times. Why am I still doing it? So sometimes you have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of, in order to learn a lesson, in order to move on. So now we're going to get into the discussion of when it is in balance. So when your heart chakra is in balance, this is just quick and to the point, and it's simple. It's just as simple as that. If you think about, I remember saying, and I heard it just recently, if you think about how many, muscles that you use in order to smile, and if you think about how many muscles it takes in order to frown, think about that. Just one quick smile. And then if you take and frown your face up, look at all those different areas in my face that are contracting, should I say. So I say all that to say the love is just as simple as that, is what I'm just trying to say. So how to know if your heart chakra is in balance? You accept yourself and you accept others. And I know that sometimes there are situations that we may have to deal with, that we may have to heal, because sometimes there are situations that God is allowing us to deal with, so yes. So sometimes our hearts are closed off, and there could be a period of time. And I say all that to say, because we all experience something, because due to past life situations, due to lifetimes of situations, and due to now that we have a lot of things that they're coming up to the surface in order for us to heal and deal with, in other words. So a lot of things that were buried underneath that has been buried underneath the heart surface, that people cannot see and don't know what's really deep down in the heart. I know that a lot of that is coming up now for healing. So yes, sometimes it's almost like, thank you, Spirit. It's almost like God allow us to go through certain phases in our life. So, we go through phases in a point of, yes, situations and circumstances allow us to become hurt, about something. So now after you become hurt, it's almost like a life lesson. So once you become hurt, it's like it starts a chain reaction to other things. You become hurt. Sometimes people again become a little jealous, a little bitter, anger, and we get upset about certain things. It's human. It's a part of our lessons that we are learning here on earth. And I say all that to say, I myself had to experience things like that too. So no, sometimes we don't just jump in and our hearts are open. Whereas before, my heart was really, really open. And then it was to the point God was like, okay, you need to, tone it down just a little bit, because everything is not how you expect it to be out here. So I had to become hurt and so on and so on. It's almost like God was taking me back to the ghost of Christmas past in a sense. So because I was like really, jolly, happy, and, thought everybody was thinking like me and so on and so on. And so he almost had to give me a reality check, to the point that he took me back to the ghost of Christmas past and like, hey, well, this stuff is buried deep down in your heart. So, I'm going to allow these things to happen so that you can become hurt. So that way they can come to the surface, so that way you can deal with it, if that makes sense to you. So I say all that to say that we do go through different phases where we feeling this, we feeling that. And yes, it was meant to get to the point of the root of the issue, which is in order for us to heal it. So yes, some people aren't just going to come in and just going to be unblocked right away, because there will be situations and circumstances throughout their life, because we all have different patterns, we all have different lessons that we are all learning. So yes, you just got to kind of roll with the flows or whatever. So don't think it's a situation that you can just come in here. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say. It's not a situation where you can just come in here, because yes, so many people do it. They become hurt, and then therefore if they jump to rebound relationships, people or things that make them feel good. And even I'm hearing addictions, things that things that are band-aids, that are trying to numb the pain, the root of the issue. So keep those things in mind as well too. But anyway, so you accept yourself and you accept others. You are quick to forgive, in other words. So this is, again, they come in phases. So I say all that to say nobody's going to get hurt and then all of a sudden they can be like, okay, I forgive you. No, it doesn't work like that. It's like things that will lead up to the healing, should I say, to the point that you will get to that space of being able to forgive others and understand that you yourself can put yourself in this person's shoes, because there was probably once upon a time when you may have experienced a situation that was similar to theirs, and not to come from a place of judgment, in other words. So, but it's almost like, but seeing yourself in other people, in other words, like we're human, we're here to learn, we'll all make mistakes. And the other one is, your heart will be flowing with love as well as compassion when you know that your heart chakra is not blocked. Like I said, that was me at first. And it was God's like, took me all the way back here. And then I had to, go all the way forward. But anyway, so I say all that to say, so yes. So with all, I'm sorry, y'all. So with all that being said, just know that when you get to a place that you're flowing with love, compassion, and unconditional love for people, because you realize that even though you may see somebody doing something, it's a matter of, okay, you're not agreeing with them, or you're not necessarily saying you're not necessarily passing judgment on what they're doing, but it's more so just understanding that, okay, they're doing something, so obviously they're learning a lesson, whatever that lesson may be. But you still hold space for them, if that makes sense, in other words. So now we're going to get into a quick little discussion, and we're going to talk about the possible associated illnesses or diseases that are attached to the heart chakra. So we all know, number one is, heart problems. You can relate that back to heart problems. So again, as I said, possible. Just because somebody has a blocked chakra or unbalanced chakra does not necessarily mean that they will experience these issues. But if these issues should arise, so I don't tell you to claim anything if you're not having that problem, but I'm just saying, if these issues should arise, that means that they are associated back to the heart. So we're going to first talk about, the first one is breast cancer. Sometimes when people deal with the situation of breast cancer, that's tied back to a blocked chakra in some sort of way, probably some underlying issue that is buried deep down within, the feelings and the emotions. And sometimes we have stored up past life energies within our muscles as well too. So, you know, it really goes deeper than, you know, what we can really see. So I say all that to say, just really quick, for the 7 different chakras, we have nerves and we have organs that attach to each one of those chakras. So as you can see, the heart is attached to the heart chakra. So you see how that works? And even your respiratory system, you know, between your throat and as well as your heart, is all a part of that heart chakra. I mean, your heart chakra as well too. So keep that in mind as well too. Anyway, so situations with heart disease, circulation problems, you know, respiratory disorders, you know, things like asthma and stuff like that, lung problems, immune disorders, fatigue, sleep disturbance, and high blood pressure are all things that it could be tied back to the heart chakra. Let's see. And really quick, so now I'm going to talk about how you can balance this heart chakra. Some ways that you can balance this heart chakra is by getting enthusiastic about something in your life, whatever it may be. If it's a person, again, healthy situations, not unhealthy situations. If somebody inspires you, you know, see how you can learn from them. In other words, don't just jump in and just, you know, go with what you see them doing on the surface, you know, before you decide you want to pursue someone. Just make sure this person is living with integrity, morals, values, self-respect, things that align with your values, should I say, because you don't want to be a situation that you kind of look up to this person or enthusiastic about this person, but then you later find out that, oh, like, this is not somebody that I necessarily want to be following. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Let's see. Finding out what or who inspires you in life. That's another way that you can help balance your heart chakra. Releasing any and all unhealthy emotions that are keeping you stuck. So in other words, if you have some situations tied to, let's just say, maybe something kind of gets on your nerves or whatever the case may be, or maybe it could be a person that gets on your nerves. You know, it's just a matter of asking yourself, why is it that they get on my nerves or whatever? You know, just dig deeper down into the situation, because again, it's a situation of, you know, it's a situation of when your heart is not blocked, you can look at, again, I'm sorry, forgive me. So when your heart is not blocked, it's basically to the point that it's almost like when people do things or things that get on your nerves, it's almost like, how can I say it? You don't, thank you, Spirit. You don't easily allow these things to get on your nerves. There may be things that you don't like, and that's okay, because that is healthy, you know, and it's almost like you won't allow them to take you off course, in a say, if that makes sense. You won't allow them to, how can I say it? Oh. Thank you, Spirit. You won't allow them to disturb your peace, in other words. So you can say what you need to say while still keeping peace. Anyway, so what else? And this, we're almost to the end, y'all. Yeah, and so letting go of anything that you feel like is heavy, that's weighing you down. Those are things that you don't want to do. Oh, excuse me. Those are things that you won't allow to happen. You won't allow heavy situations and things to weigh you down, because you're basically feeling, how do you say it? Light. You're feeling light. You don't allow things that are heavy to bark you down and hold you down. So in another way to balance yourself is by inhaling positivity and releasing out any negative and any stress that you may be trying to hold on. So those are ways that you can kind of, it's almost like a inhale, hold for 5 seconds, and then breathe out. But as you're breathing out, you say, I'm now choosing to release any and all negative energy. And then when you're inhaling, say, I am breathing in nothing but positivity of pure white light and pure unconditional love. This is what I say. You don't have to say that, but I'm just giving you an example. But, you know, yes, those are some ways that you can balance the heart chakra, as well as getting outside in nature, of course, and just enjoying life. Enjoy life by just sitting out in nature and just watching the animals, being connected to the animals, being connected to Mother Earth, being connected to the trees, the plants. We're all connected in some way, shape, or form, but you don't want to allow yourself to be connected to unhealthy things, should I say. So just sitting out in nature alone is a way to definitely unblock your heart chakra like quicker. Just sitting there in nature and just observing. Wow, look at the water. Wow, thank God for the water. Thank Mother Earth for the water that she provides us with. We brush our teeth with it. We cook with it. We eat with it. We drink with it. We bathe. So think about it. If we didn't have water, we'll be shit out of luck. But anyways, those are some things to be thankful for. You think about the grass, you think about the food that Mother Nature provides us with. So those are some things that just kind of sit back and just be grateful, because that right there alone is probably one of the, along with unconditional love, is one of the highest vibrations that there is. Well, love is the highest vibration that there is, but just having appreciation for life is another high vibrational energy. Anyway, y'all, so I'm going to end it here, but I hope that information was helpful. But remember, the heart chakra is representing the green, the color green, excuse me. And I hope this information was helpful for you guys. I know I feel like I'm rambling on. I'm new to all this, so bear with me. But anyway, I wish you all much love. You enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope that some information that I have provided was very helpful to you. And you guys stay blessed. And remember to always be thankful for Mother Earth, as well as God's Source Spirit, and to always keep them first. And I wish you all much love, much light. And I say peace and blessings. Bye.